Let's move on to main topic number 1. And our first main topic today gets submitted to us by Derek Priano, who writes, "Hey, John. So with AMC being in serious trouble, is there a chance Jeff Bezos and Amazon buy them? Disney may not have the capital currently, but Amazon definitely does. Amazon is almost a $1 trillion company who I think would risk the lower profit margins to get more name recognition." All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And, the backdrop to this, of course, is the situation that AMC Theaters is in. We talked about this the other day, about the fact that AMC is currently $5 billion in debt. Their credit has run out, and there are the financial institutions that are saying they expect AMC to breach, and there is a low likelihood that they will ever reopen their doors again. I, of course, believe they will, because I believe a third party will come in and save the day, be that the studios, or maybe a company like Amazon. Now, look, let me say this. The first thing I should mention here is this. Amazon doesn't need more name recognition, all right? There's nobody listening to this show right now that if I say Amazon, you go, who? There's nobody saying that, right? Amazon has all the name recognition in the world, so that's fine. But what makes this interesting is this. Amazon, as we all know in the last number of years, has started getting into the content creation game. And they've done damn well at it too. Whether it's everything from movies like The Big Sick, which I still rave about all the time, or whether it's like one of the most exciting upcoming television projects maybe ever is their upcoming Lord of the Rings television project, Rob. That's looking really slick and really good. And Rob, there used to be these laws in place that said, studios couldn't own movie theaters. And we've seen and we've talked on this show in the last number of months about how those laws are starting to get repealed a little bit.
Yep.
Which makes it's the idea of studios owning movie theaters is still extremely problematic, because what happens if Disney buys the movie theater in your neighborhood? They're not showing Warner Brothers movies. They're not showing Paramount movies. So you want to watch Top Gun? Tough luck, kid. Hop on a bus 30 miles that way. Have fun. So they're still problematic. But Amazon, I don't see Amazon having a problem if they owned and took over this major movie theater chain. I don't see there being any problem, because Amazon makes money when people buy movies off of Amazon, even if those movies belong to other people. Listen, with Amazon trying to get a foot into the entertainment business, with them having enough money to, without blinking much, paying off all the debt for AMC theaters and having all the operating capital in the world to make them up and run. And by the way, Amazon can buy and sell Disney 5 times over. I'm not exaggerating. They could buy and sell Disney 5 times over right now. For them to step in and do this could be a really attractive opportunity. The big downside to this, though, Rob, that I see is the fact that we've talked about here several times. Who wants to get into the movie theater game? It is a razor-thin margin business. It's a pain in the ass. It's expensive to do. There's not a lot of profit and all that kind of stuff. But with the synergy you could create between like an Amazon and theatrical exhibition, that could be a win. There may be some big pitfalls here I'm not looking at, but Rob, you consider the possibility of Amazon taking over an AMC theaters. What are the first thoughts that strike you?
Well, first of all, you can't just take over a theater. You have to run a theater. The day-to-day operations of a movie theater, you're dealing with the hospitality industry. And while Amazon has got into things like Whole Foods, by all accounts, Whole Foods has no longer become a place really for shoppers. It's a place for people that do the shopping for others via apps and things like that, which you can't do with the movie theater, because people are coming to your theater and they're going to expect great service, great projection, great presentation, good food, all of those things. And it's a very different business model than what Amazon is doing now. If they want to get into that, fine. But you would need a whole different division of people that have a whole different skill set. And you'd basically have to create that from scratch very, very quickly. Because, when this is over, and if we look at South Korea and China have beat this thing back. And while we are not doing a very good job of that here in this country, we will do it. And eventually movie theaters will probably be open in the next quarter. And I don't think anybody's got that much, or that, how can they start a whole new business that quickly? Or maybe they could buy a controlling interest and bring everybody back to run AMC the way it was, and it's just a new parent company. Maybe that could work out. I don't know, but I would think that, again, that would take some time. And we want to see movies in July and August. And AMC needs help now. And I can't imagine even Amazon, with as much money as they have, it's not like Jeff Bezos can be like, hey, man, I think I'm going to go buy a movie theater chain today. Why not? So...
Although, just for that graphic that Ray made, I kind of want to see it happen. If for no other reason, just for that. I mean, you've got built-in marketing right there. You call AMC's on?
Yeah, I know. I don't... Look, I've always believed that businesses should do what they do best. And when they diversify, it can be either very good or ultimately a bad thing, because businesses have core businesses, and then with Amazon, they're getting into so many different things. Remember, they used to just sell books, John.
Yep.
And now they run grocery stores and delivery trucks, and they're worldwide, and it's just, how big is big? I don't know.
But one of the things you pointed out, I think, is the key to this whole thing. You know, I was working with AMC theaters when, at the time, a Chinese group called Wanda bought a controlling interest. Now, Wanda no longer has a controlling interest in the company. They divested themselves of most of their ownership, but they're still players in it. I remember when they took it over, a lot of us working with them saying, how's this going to change us? You know what it changed? Changed nothing. They literally didn't change a thing. I think what you brought up is kind of the key, that you keep all the infrastructure there. You keep all the people. You just come in and say, okay, now we are paying off that $5 billion in debt, which Jeff Bezos goes, wait a minute, I think I've got that in like a back pocket here. Yeah, here you go. Here's $5 billion. So you pay off the $5 billion debt, you take over controlling interest of the company, and you just let it run, and you slowly start to work that synergy of working in Amazon branding into it to set up. I think it could be a really interesting situation for Amazon if they wanted to do it. It would save AMC theaters. That would save the studios. It would save the industry. It could be an interesting thing, but like you pointed out, Rob, there are a number of pitfalls here, and it's not all that simple.
Yeah, I mean, look, I would say that in the long term, perhaps it could be interesting. You never know. Amazon always is getting new people to come in, new fresh blood, and I'm sure with new executives, you never know what they can do. But I just think that it can't happen in a month or two or three, and AMC needs help now. Unless
Jeff Bezos could cut them a check for $12 billion right now and say, there, pay off the debt, get the operation up and running, and we'll deal with everything else later. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wouldn't that be great to live in a world where we had that kind of money? We could say, okay, look, let's just drop $12 billion on it and we'll be fine. Anyway, guys, the question for you is, what would you think of a company like Amazon? Like, for a lot of other companies, it doesn't seem to make sense. But I think for Amazon, there's a lot of potential upside there. Not that I know that that's going to happen or I think that's going to happen, but what do you guys think about that possibility? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right.